Video, I'm going to be going over the sentences for which you are going to be taking a multiple choice quiz. And so the reason why you're paying attention is not for 3 embedded items, but so that you maybe will do well on said quiz. Caesar is our subject here, and pugnabat is our verb. So compare the adverb always. Caesar always was fighting. Then we have the word ferokias. Ferokias is an example of a comparative adverb. Because as you can see here from our adverb chart, there it is, IUS, 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 all the way down, such that it is going to be then the adverb describing in this instance how he was fighting. Caesar always was fighting more ferociously. It's an adverb. Paolo, by a little bit. This is your ablative telling you the degree of difference. It could have been, however, from the form neuter, singular, nominative, or accusative. However, it's not modifying anything neuter. Caesar's not neuter. Romans are not neuter, and definitely not singular, and so therefore it is the adverb. Caesar always was fighting more ferociously, by a little bit, Paolo, than other Romans. Here, ablative of comparison, by, with, because of, from, in, on, at, than. If I wanted, what I could do is I could replace this with quam. Remember, quam also shows comparison. And when it is with a quam instead of ablative, you would put the alteris Romanis into the same case as Caesar, since that's what's being compared. Alteri Romani. In Gallia. In Gaul, Caesar pugnavit. Fought, did fight, has fought, imperfect versus perfect. Ferocissime, as, or not as, but most ferociously. Again, look at the form acerrime, fortissime, pulcherrime. Very, most ferociously. But in Pompeium, in plus accusative does mean into, but it can also mean against, and so that is what it means in this context. But against Pompey, he fought, now with the quam hanging around the superlative, as ferociously as possible. Quam plus the superlative, as blank as possible. Number 2. Sextus, go find my verb. Wult, wants to give. To give is a ditransitive, which means it will have a direct object, flowers, and an indirect object, dative, puella. Sextus wants to give flowers to a girl. Pulcriori. Comparative with an I-O-R. That I tells to me that it is third conjugation dative. Look at our endings. Verit is, I in the dative case. And remember, all comparative adjectives are third declension. A girl more beautiful than Cornelia. Quam with comparison, than. Note that Cornelia is in the same case as the thing to which it is being compared. We could take out the quam and just put Cornelia in the ablative for the ablative of comparison, than Cornelia. Either one the Romans use. The laetissima puella, the very happy girl, will receive, if I see alongi, future will be, flores pulcherrimas, very beautiful flowers. Most beautiful, very beautiful. Number 3, maior. Maior is an example of an irregular verb. Or not verb, but irregular adjective. Magnus, big. Maior, maius, bigger, larger. A larger horse, maior equus, is able to run calerias. Again, ias in this instance could either be the neuter, nominative, or accusative, neuter, or it could be telling us how the running is going. And so therefore that is what we have, a comparative adjective or adverb. So it says, a bigger horse is able to run more quickly by a lot. Idiomatically, we would say a lot more quickly. But it's more quickly by a lot. Equo minore, than, by with, because of, from, and on, at, than a smaller horse, an ablative showing comparison. If we were to have a quam, it would be quam equus minor. Uh-oh. There we are. Well, M-I-N-O-R in the nominative. Minor is the comparative of parvus, smaller. And so therefore, again, a bigger horse is able to run more quickly by a lot, ablative degree of difference, than an equus minor. Nominative because it's being compared with the quam to the horse in the nominative. But without it, it's just in the ablative of comparison. Titus asks for, demands, more of the wine. This plus is the plus with the asterisk, meaning that it doesn't have any other form and it is substantized. It's always more amount, more value. And so therefore, again, Titus demands more volume, more amount of the wine. It almost always will have with it a genitive part of a whole. Therefore, the slaves give. Tito, we should not translate first because it is in the dative or ablative, not nominative. Therefore, the slaves give to Titus the maximum poculum, the largest cup. Maximus, biggest, big, bigger, biggest. But illid poculum, but that cup, completur, is filled from the verb pleo pleere, is filled, long E, in a second conjugation, present tense, and it's passive. But that cup is filled with vino peore, with worse wine. Peor is the comparative of malus, malus bad, peor worse. Because of from inomat, worse wine than the wine. Vino is in the same case as vino, and it is the wine dato, having been given to others. So he gets the biggest cup, but he gets the lowest quality wine, or wine worse than the wine, having been given, perfect passive participle, to the others. Number 5, wines plural. Vinum is a second declension neuter. Vinum, vini. And so, e-o, o, a, or is, a, is, it is nominative plural. And this would be like bottles of wine or varieties of wine. The vina optima, the best wines, verb dantur, are given, do, dare, dedidatus, to a few dinner guests, dative case, pauci, paukai, pauka, means a few. So the best wines are given to a few dinner guests, probably the senators. But the pessima imply vina again, but the worst wines are given pluribus. Here, this pluribus is down here, as you can see, plures, many and more. So pluribus, more, but the worst wines are given to more dinner guests, modifying the same case, number, and gender. All the clients want, this is not the verb to be. Instead, it is the verb edo esse. Now, how do you know whether it's the verb to be versus the verb to eat? Look at the context. It is not saying all the clients want to be and to drink. They want to eat and to drink. Quam plurimam, as much as possible. Remember, quam with a superlative is going to be as blank as possible. Now, this is actually a mistake or a typo. It should be plurimum, because it is the adverb, because it describes how they want to eat, so it should be actually plurimum. Nevertheless, good luck on the multiple choice. Hopefully you do well.